Guys, the markets have absolutely gone insane. And I'm not talking about just straight up. I'm talking about one day you look up, the market's up 10%, the next day it's down 10%. Now, maybe not the S&P 500, maybe not the NASDAQ, maybe not all those, but definitely other assets. I'm talking gold, I'm talking silver. Bitcoin and crypto is absolutely getting crushed. And the tech companies absolutely getting destroyed right now. But the thing about this is I'm looking for other opportunities. Now, I'm continuing to buy into my investments. I'm continuing to dollar cost average. I'm continuing to do all that. But I'm also looking at other alternative investments that I can actually make money on. What do I mean by alternative investments? Guys, art, sports cards, clothing, design, it doesn't matter what it is. What can I make money on in the markets that people will still buy no matter what? Guys, this video, if you clicked on this from the short, it's absolutely insane. Wine, I don't know if you guys can see that, but these wine bottles right here are absolutely insane. I had no idea that wine was worth this much until I started doing research. And actually, I have a subscriber that I actually am friends with. I was telling him about this wine and he said, you know what, you need to make a video about that because it's actually pretty interesting stuff. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Curtis Ryland. I am all things personal finance. I love personal finance. I love investing. I love helping others. I love leading people to God, helping others, make sure that they can just get back on their feet and then go towards a financial goal that will absolutely give them peace in their life to where they can become financially free and hopefully a millionaire. That is my goal in this channel. Now, with this channel, I talk about finances. I talk about investing. I talk about getting your 401k match, a Roth IRA, different types of investments that are good for you, what accounts to open, how to buy a house, how to get smart with using credit, all these different things. But I also have talked on this channel about alternative investing / side hustles. Now, I know a lot of people are like, side hustles? Oh, he's going to talk about drop shipping. I'm not talking about drop shipping. I'm going to talk about like what Gary Vee says, and his is flip life. So what do I mean by flip life? Guys, buying stuff for the low that people are getting rid of and then selling it for higher that people are wanting to buy. Now, I've done sports cards. I've done all kinds of stuff. Guys, I've sold ink. I've sold hats. I've sold clothing. I've sold pants. I've sold teddy bears. I've sold all kinds of stuff, sunglasses, purses. It does not matter. I have now learned to use eBay as a tool to help me see how much things are worth. I will go to garage sales, estate sales. I will go to flea markets. I will go to all kinds of places, just scouring Facebook Marketplace to see what people are selling so that I could potentially buy it for a low price and sell it for a higher one. How do I know the value of things? I go to eBay. I look up exactly what I am looking at. So if it's a sports card, for example, I will literally take this sports card. Sometimes on eBay, if you have the actual app, you can just take a picture. It'll pop up. Google does the same thing. You literally just take a picture. It'll pop up. But if you're on the eBay app, you just take a picture and then you go to a filter and you go to sold listings. That will tell you the actual dollar amount. I'm not talking about the listings because people will list things on eBay for so much money and then people think that's what it's worth. That's not what it's worth. It's only worth what someone actually paid for it. And so that's what I do. I use eBay as a tool. And now I'm going to go over how I got into this. So how did I get the wine? Now, it's kind of crazy how I landed this because I don't know anything about wine. I didn't buy this wine. I did not do anything in my power to get this wine. So this has nothing to do with me. This just kind of landed in my lap. I have a family friend who actually got this wine as a bonus for Christmas. Yes, he got a bonus for Christmas and it was in wine. He does not drink wine. So what is he going to do with the wine? He has no knowledge about wine. I know nothing about wine. But the thing that is awesome is that he knows that I flip stuff. He knows that I like to hustle. I'm a hustler. I like to buy, sell. I mean, look at the sign behind me. It says hustle. That is what I like to do. I think it's fun. I think it's a challenge. I think it's like a treasure hunt all in one. So he knew that I liked to flip stuff. I could buy and sell stuff, and it doesn't matter what it is. I've sold all kinds of stuff, like I've said. But he knew that I sold stuff and he knew I had a YouTube channel, so this YouTube channel is actually paying off. I only have like 195 subscribers, but it's actually paying off. And that's because he reached out to me with this. And he said, I know nothing about this. Is there any way that you can sell it? Because I didn't know anything about it. Now, I did a lot of research. Technically, you're not supposed to buy and sell. The only way that you can sell is basically if you have a liquor license, or you have to go through a broker / a wine auction house, which is absolutely insane. So that's kind of what I did. I've done some research and I figured out that as long as it's going to a wine broker or a auction house, they can actually buy the wine. And then if someone wants to actually collect expensive wine, technically they're supposed to go through a broker to actually get the wine. So that's just kind of what it is. So this wine kind of just fell in my lap, and I reached out to 20 so brokers and auction houses, and they have all sent me pretty much auctions that they're going to buy it for, and then they're going to list it for a higher price, which is fine because I've asked the guy that I'm selling it for, and he didn't know how to sell it. He didn't know anything about it. He didn't even know what they were worth. And so I've done a lot of research, a lot of work to try to sell these bottles of wine, and he's just going to split it with me 50-50. And that's just one way that I can make a little bit of money and he can get money and we both be happy. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but this whole video is actually just me trying to tell you guys that you can make money in literally anything when it comes to buying and selling things. There is a market, a niche, a buyer for literally everything. Guys, I know people that buy ashtrays from back in the day that are awesome. They're really cool, but they buy ashtrays, and there's a market for that. There's a market for wine. There's a market for vintage hats, vintage clothing, sports cards, technology, lighting, sound, everything. There is a market for everything. So how do you do it? Like I said, you go to eBay, you go to sold listings, and then you just do research, guys. You just do a little bit of research. And how hard is it to do research in today's world where you have ChatGPT and you have Grok, you have all these different AI bots that can just tell you exactly what you're looking for. And if it doesn't give you the right answer that you want, you just tell it to do it again. And it does it again. So that's my whole video is, guys, you can make money on literally anything in this world. You just have to find the buyer. Sometimes you got to be patient. It's not going to come instantly, but that's the fun part. That's the challenge. Start with a little bit. Start with something that you already own. Sell it, make some money, and then go buy more. Flip it. Do more. Just keep going, keep grinding, and just have fun. Because when you do this and you have fun, it doesn't feel like you're working. It really doesn't. It truly doesn't. Guys, I've told you before, I'm huge into sports cards. Like, I don't have a bunch of big cards. I don't have a bunch of big cards that I collect. I have small ones that I think are cool, that I have fun with because I love sports. But I know that this can help me fund the passion that I have behind it. And that's what I think is fun. Now, I want to know down in the comment section, what do you collect? What do you flip? What are you passionate about that you would collect? And guys, I'm also going to leave down in my description, if you want to sign up for actually investing, Robinhood, Webull, any of those, I'm going to leave a link down below. It is a referral code, so I will get a little bit kickback, but I appreciate that if you use that. And then I'm also going to use a Whatnot link, because Whatnot is how I got started with flipping sports cards, really, because I was buying and selling on Facebook, but I have to go and meet those people. When you're actually buying on Whatnot, you don't have to go meet anybody if you don't want. You can just buy it in short auctions that you can win and get sent straight to your house, and then you can relist it. So like I said, you can make a ton of money doing that, but the whole purpose of this video is just figure something that you're passionate about and then dive into it, because you can do all things that you want if you figure out a market that you're passionate about, have fun, and then really start learning and gaining a ton of knowledge to figure out why things are priced and how expensive things are for the reasons that they are. You're going to be an expert at that, and then you'll have the eye when you go to estate sales, garage sales, when you're online, Facebook, and you see something that's so undervalued, you're going to be the one to jump on that opportunity to make a bunch of money in that moment. So remember, guys, until next time, you can do all things through him that give you strength. Peace.